We are live. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Wall Street Reporter's next Superstock live stream for January 15th, 2020. This is our first live stream of the decade. So we're really glad to have everybody here. And looking at some of the registrants for the event, I see a lot of familiar names from the past few months. So I know that definitely this has been a very profitable couple of months for a lot of you, since two of our presenters are up 250% and 350%, I believe, or more, maybe a little bit higher. And even the laggards that we've had have had over 50% increases in their stock price after they did the event. So the format is definitely working. So for those of you who are new to the event, the format is very simple. This is not your typical investor conference with 30 or 300 CEOs presenting, talking about how they're going to increase earnings 18% or cut costs by 4%. None of that incremental nonsense. What Next Superstock Conference is about is bringing to you stocks that have potential to increase 10x, 1,000% or more in the next 18 months. So, and if you've been following our events, you see that we're able to find some of these winners. So we, instead of bringing you a lot of companies, we only showcase one or two companies each month and give you the opportunity to learn about their story, ask your questions, and decide for yourself. What the Next Superstock Conference, our formula is this. We're looking for companies that are going after multi-billion-dollar opportunities, and right now they're at key inflection points. So with near-term catalysts in place, and really they're at the threshold of explosive growth. So, and there's a lot of news flow happening with these companies, which helps drive that investor attention. Most importantly, the secret ingredient these companies have is CEOs who get it when it comes to maximizing shareholder value. It's a rare ingredient that 99% of companies out there, public companies, don't have. So very happy to have these Next Superstock companies here. And again, the formula is definitely working. The presenter you're going to be hearing from, NexTech, Evan Gappelberg. The stock is up from, I believe, 50 cents back in August when he first presented to a high of $2.38 just about four weeks ago. So that's a gain of 350%. So Evan, NexTech definitely exemplifies what this conference is all about. So we're going to be looking forward to hearing from you. Just a couple scheduling changes, or actually one scheduling change. Cytodyne, which was scheduled to present, is actually going to be presenting next Wednesday, this exact same time, so 12:30. So Dr. Purhasan is actually at an industry conference the rest of this week, and he's in back-to-back meetings. So sorry about the scheduling conflict. We're going to have him here next week. I know we have a lot of people who want to hear from him, because the stock went from I think 35 cents when he presented here November 14th with you, Evan, and the stock hit about a high of $1.10. So that event, we had three companies presenting and two big winners. Cytodyne up from 35 cents to $1.10, and NexTech rocketed right after that to 238. So this has been a good run here. So the format today is going to be very simple. Evan is going to be speaking for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. He's going to tell you the story, and then we're going to open up for Q&A. The Q&A is really, I believe, the best part of our event, because really it's an opportunity for you, the audience, to engage with the CEOs and to ask your questions in your own words. We're actually going to try to do live audio. We did get a bunch of questions that came in from people who registered, but we're going to try to do live audio. So if you ask a question, I think there's a button where you raise like a little flag or raise your hand on this app, and so when I click on you, make sure your speaker and mic is on, and hopefully we'll be able to actually hear from you. Otherwise, you can just type it out and I'll read the question out. So without further ado, let me introduce Evan Gappelberg. He's the CEO of NexTech. Stock symbol is NEXCF, one of the leaders in the $120 billion augmented reality industry. That's what the projections are in the next few years. That's what this is going to be, the size of the market opportunity. That's according to one of the leading industry analysts. What's exciting about NexTech is the company's going after 4 multi-billion-dollar opportunities. The company has traction. They're delivering record revenue growth and tremendous news flow. Again, I think you've been following the stock performance. If I may, Evan, I don't know if I may give my personal opinion. I really believe what's very interesting about the story is, or the stock, I should say, right now, is that once it hit $2.38, we've had the usual kind of market pullback, which really gives investors a second chance here. I think the stock is about $1.57 today. I'm looking at the U.S. numbers here. So it really gives investors a second opportunity to get on board what could be a major winner. And what's interesting is once these stocks have momentum, that's really creates real validation, because now it shows that NexTech, or the stock, has legs. Investors obviously in the stock ran on some good news, and I think if you can deliver some really tremendous performance in the next few months, I think we can even see bigger results. So with that, Evan, I'm gonna sign off and turn it over to you. Please, everybody, welcome Evan Gappelberg.
Thanks for the intro, Jack. And we are going to perform. Jack, you just kind of switched screens, but I figured out how to fix that. So here we go. So our story revolves around spatial computing, which, if you could imagine living in a world where the computer's all around you, it's no longer.
Evan, did you take the presentation off?
No, the presentation is on my screen.
Okay, hang on a second. I don't see the presentation. Let me see. Okay, now I see it. Now I see it. Okay, now
you see the presentation now, but I don't see the presentation.
Okay, hang on a second. All right, just a little technical technical challenge we'll solve here.
How about now, Jack?
I see it now, and okay, now I see the full screen.
All right, good. Here we go. So the future is here now. Augmented reality, artificial intelligence, they're merging and transforming our world into a 3D spatial computer wonderland. These are just our forward-looking statements, which we'll skip right over. So NexTech is the first mover, as Jack was saying, in the augmented reality space, which is really a transformational segment of the market. It's not like every other tech sector. We are the first public pure play stock in an industry that's growing at an 86% compounded annual growth rate. We have recurring and growing revenue streams. We have blue chip partners, Shopify, Walter Arms, Budweiser, and LivePerson. We have expert management team and advisory board, very capital tight structure as well. AR revenues are going to go from 1.96 billion to 27 billion in 2023. And you can just look at the graph. That just goes to 2023, but it actually just keeps going for the next decade and beyond. Last year was kind of a year where we saw consumers start to look for augmented reality in the retail space. And this year, we're seeing that retailers now are going to adopt augmented reality. We're having a tremendous amount of success with sales. We're at something like a 50% close ratio when we get on the phone and we present our value proposition to customers. Half of them say yes. I mean, that's unheard of. Anybody in the industry of selling, 50% of the people saying yes is a very, very strong number. And it's just because 90% of consumers, they're now purchasing product in stores. I mean, that's been historically where people go to buy stuff. AR is now disrupting that by bringing the shopping experience into a person's home. That's really the story here. E-commerce businesses benefit because they have lower return rates. In other words, you're able to try before you buy, which means you know what you're getting and you're not going to return it. Your conversions are increasing, and it's creating a very exciting, immersive shop at home experience. I'm going to give you guys a little demo video showing you how it all works. So that kind of gives you an idea of what retailers are experiencing in their stores when they sign up and they use our platform. So for e-commerce, we see nothing but blue skies, and again, we're signing up customers now at a very rapid rate, which is great, because that's basically our business model, or has been our business when we started out. So if you look for the major catalysts that are going to drive adoption, 5G is really front and center. 5G and AR wearables are now just starting to penetrate into the marketplace. This year, you'll have maybe a 1% adoption rate of 5G. In the next 3 years, it'll be like 30%. That's going to drive a massive, massive shift in technology. And really, we're in the midst right now of the fourth industrial revolution. Technology right now is evolving very, very fast. It's being led by AR, AI, the Internet of Things, which is all driven by 5G, edge computing. It all revolves around this 5G network. And when you think about NexTech, the fact that we're in the e-commerce vertical, advertising, 3D ads are a big part of our future. AR for entertainment, as well as AR for education and training. So, when I look at what's happening in the marketplace today, it reminds me of the 1990s, when the internet was just being created and you had multi-billion-dollar industries spring up almost overnight. And that's what's happening really with 5G and these other technologies that kind of revolve around it. And NexTech really is uniquely positioned to capitalize on this. So we're expecting that the headsets, which are going to be coming out over the next few years with Google, Microsoft, Apple, Samsung, and Snap, they're all competing now for an AR heads-up display that will have NexTech's assets, 3D assets, viewable in a pair of glasses. And so that's a really big deal, and it's coming fast. If you look at 5G, what does it mean to a consumer? Well, it means that your download speed is going to go up by over 1,000%. It means the bandwidth is just going to go from where it is today to kind of super highway speeds. And so everything's going to be instant on, no latency, and that's going to just drive lots of new technology, lots of experiences in the marketplace today, and augmented reality is a big beneficiary of that. If you look at the wearables, the revolution has already begun. Snap is investing in their 2.0 pair of glasses. Magic Leap has raised almost $3 billion, and they continue to raise money with their spatial computing glasses. Bose has some glasses that there's been 50 million invested in. Microsoft has a pair of HoloLenses, which are really the industry leaders in a heads-up display, but it's primarily for enterprise. The U.S. military gave them a $500 million contract, which is huge for kind of a brand new technology, a brand new industry. And Apple, of course, is the 800-pound gorilla that everybody's waiting for to launch their consumer glasses. We thought it might have been 2020, but it looks like 2021 is the year when that's going to happen. That's super exciting for us. This is just kind of a list of all the tech companies that are investing billions of dollars in the AR space, and it's, you know, a who's who of tech land: Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Google, Snap. So what does NexTech do? Well, to start, we turn things into 3D assets. And so we have some proprietary technology. I'm going to show you a little video of some of the assets that we've created using our proprietary technology. So you can see there's a vast array of products that we can scan, and if you were able to read those little captions, you know, it took less than 2 hours to create those 3D assets. That's unheard of. When we first started in this industry, it would take us, you know, potentially a week and cost hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Now it's 2 hours and, you know, costs us just a few dollars. So major technological leap. The technology works. We're using it. It's in market, and we've announced that there's an app that we're going to be publishing shortly. We're currently test flight using it internally, and expect that to launch in the next couple of weeks. So if you look at our product offerings, we have 4 AR verticals: 3D AR ad network, which is something new and super exciting, retail, education, and entertainment. And it all revolves around our ARitize platform, which has artificial intelligence built in, as well as a very robust analytics dashboard. And the key takeaway here is that it's compatible with all devices. So whether it's a phone, whether it's a tablet, a laptop, a desktop, it's browser agnostic. It works across every browser, every platform, which means every device. And that eliminates the friction point that some of our competitors have, where it might only work on, let's say, Apple devices. We don't have that friction point, and that allows us to speak to the entire global marketplace as opposed to just a piece of it. If you look at our revenue, we have very strong recurring revenue streams. One source of revenue, we really have 2 engines of growth. One source is our SaaS platform. We call it ARitize, and it's an omni-channel platform. We get monthly recurring revenues as we sign up our e-com customers, which is a big deal. We actually have a third platform, which is going to be the ad network, which is not part of this slide deck, at least on the revenue side. So our second platform is our e-com businesses. We own 2 wholly owned subsidiaries that are enhanced with AR capabilities. Those businesses are scaling big time. We've integrated augmented reality into those businesses, and it's showing up in the results. It's a great opportunity for us to have a test market, to test new products, and it's working out really well. This slide speaks to our revenue, which, you know, really at the end of the day, when you try and size up where you're going to invest, you want to see a company that's a proven revenue generator. So in 2019, we did roughly $6 million in revenue. In December, we announced over $760,000 in revenue just for 1 month. Gross profit of over $453,000 for the 4th quarter. We did $2.5 million in gross revenue and about $1.3 million in gross profit, which is, you know, over 4,000% increase in revenue and 2,000% increase in gross profit year over year. Obviously, the prior year, we were just getting started. So it'll be interesting to see those numbers at the end of 2020 in comparison to 2019. But we're targeting big numbers in 2020. We think we could hit 20 million in revenue. We know that's a big number. It's about a 300% increase. And we think our gross margin is going to expand from 58 to 70% as we have more software revenues added to the mix. In 2021, we think it's just going to continue. You know, we could see another 100% bump in revenue. There's no reason why not. This is, we're going to talk a little bit about LivePerson. LivePerson is a company that we have a partnership agreement with. They're a multi-billion-dollar public company. They have really the definitive platform for conversational commerce. They have over 17,000 clients, and they're very, very excited about adding augmented reality, specifically NexTech's augmented reality, to their platform. So this is a demo kind of showing you how it works. So we used LivePerson and Tamara Mellon as our case study. Kelly's out shopping with her friend. Her friend recommends, you know, the Tamara Mellon Instagram page. There it is. They're looking, now they're in the LivePerson messaging piece, which is, you know, embedded into the Tamara Mellon app. So, you know, you're looking at kind of bots talk initially, and then once the bots sense that there's intent to buy, it switches from a bot to a live person. So there's Marissa, she's your personal shopper at Tamara Mellon. She's asking, you know, how can I help? The customer's asking, you know, hey, do you have any shoes that go well with my dress? Personal shopper says, sure. And hey, let me show you them. And so now it's an augmented reality pair of shoes in the shopper's home next to her dress, where she's able to see how the shoes look. Is it a match? Isn't it a match? Looks to me like it's a perfect match. I think the shopper feels the same. She goes back into the app, into the feed, and the next thing you know is she's ready to check out using Apple Pay. It's really one click of a button, the thumbprint, and $575 to a pair of shoes. So, you know, that's the power of augmented reality, where you could take a person and show them what the product is going to look like before they buy. Super, super powerful. And, you know, everybody in the industry, and we've spoken to Apple, they love this idea of conversational commerce. I mean, they are 100% believers that this is the future. No special app required for AR. Billions of smartphones, tablets, and computers ready now for web AR chat. NexTech and LivePerson are putting, you know, AR natively inside two of the most ubiquitous applications today: web browsers, which, you know, everybody uses, and chat apps, which everybody uses. So it's really a big deal. We have a first mover advantage there. There's nobody else in that space, which is, again, a super big deal for us. I'm going to skip over that slide because it's a little redundant, but here's some of our customers: LivePerson, Walter Arms, Block Scientific, Budweiser, New Balance. So let's talk a little about 3D ads. We have announced that we built a 3D ad network. We now have an ad that is live. This is the ad. I'm going to click on it and show it to you. That is a 3D ad that NexTech created for our vacuum cleaner market, and it's going to be running for the next week or so, and we will share results as they become available. But it's a big deal for us. It's a first kind of demo in the real world using 3D ads, and we're super excited about that. Here's another one I'm going to show you, which is really for LivePerson. you could see in this second ad, apparel in 3 dimensions, there's a little bar at the bottom that says message us to learn more, right? That's the live person piece. So imagine you're looking at a 3D ad and there's a message bar in the ad. So not only are you seeing the apparel, and by the way, I could manipulate and move that piece of apparel. I could make it bigger inside the ad. This is all happening inside the 3D ad. I'm just browsing the web and I'm able to do that, which is really game changing and groundbreaking. And then think about being able to message, hey, you know, do you have that in a size small or medium or large? And then next thing you know, you're checking out and buying it. So game changing technology. We have it. Nobody else does. Really, it's transformational. And so if you think of 3D ads, using 3D objects in advertising, you know, you have people playing with the ad instead of just, you know, scanning and kind of, you know, not even showing any interest. So ultimately, when you're able to see an ad and interact with it, it's much, much more effective. And we think, you know, you look at this slide, you'll see that there's a 663% increase in sign-up conversions and a 376% increase in click-through rates. That's according to Sketchfab. They've done some testing with Google, and these stats have come from their testing. So 3D ads prove to deliver a better return on ad spend, up 150% over traditional banner ads, as well as better insight traffic by decreasing the bounce rate. Split testing, Sketchfab brand 3D ads versus traditional static ads bears out just how dramatically ROS can improve. So we have not just 3D ads, but we have 3D AR ads. So it's even better. It's going to have an even bigger return on investment. And we do think, and I'm convinced that, and the industry believes this as well, that over the next decade, let's say, that $725 billion spend, which is going to $1 trillion in ads, will convert to 3D AR ads. The whole industry will migrate over time to 3D AR ads. And so this is the first inning. We're literally just starting. Google hasn't even launched the 3D ad network. We're going to beat Google to the market. So it's a big deal. And, you know, stay tuned for more news on that front. So, you know, this is kind of AR ads are force multiplier, you know, so there's the camera in front of you in 3D. It's pretty dramatic graphic representation. This kind of shows you the workflow a little bit. Our Capture AR technology enables the scaling of 3D object capture. So you have an app that lets you capture photo quality 3D objects from you know, a phone, and it works with any phone. It doesn't have to be an iPhone. So you know, you just do a video of an object you're trying to capture. It goes into our configurator, and then we publish. Saves time, saves money, easy to use. You know, here's kind of just you know, 3D ads in the real world. You know, these are just kind of images, and then we have our analytics dashboard, which shows you what's happening with that ad, which is important. You know, you must have the analytics in order for all this to tie together. This is a revenue model. It's just a sample revenue model to show you the potential of what we're sitting on with these ads. So, you know, if we have 2,686 SKUs, that's individual products in Q1 that we're able to ARtize, turn into 3D. That would generate roughly 13,946 in capture revenue, hosting revenue 160, We're not even assuming the ad network is fully up to speed yet. So, gross revenue there, roughly 174,000. Q2, 16,000 SKUs. Now you're looking at 2 million in revenue because the ad network comes on stream, generating $1 million. Q3, 9 million. Q4, 28 million. I mean, these numbers again are estimated potential numbers. We're not saying that those numbers are going to be hit. We're saying this is the potential. This is how quickly it can scale. If you look at the Weather Underground, we're talking to them about putting ads on their platform. They get hundreds of millions of viewers regularly, every month, because it's the weather, right? This is a slide that we created with LivePerson. This is a demo showing Super Bowl offers. It's the first browser-based, message-enabled, conversational 3D AR shopping experience. Transforms products and display ads into 3D immersive experience with much higher conversion rates, right? Because you have a 3D object there. And again, there's messaging built in. Here's another slide. Again, we created this with LivePerson. Interactive AR 3D menu, physical and digital menus, or messaging, right? So skip the line. Chipotle is the brand, goes into messaging, and then you get to see the actual burrito in this case, and order. I mean, it's super simple, it's frictionless. Social AR campaign creates social buzz. Again, place an order using Instagram messaging, unlock an AR experience, and it's all powered by NexTech and LivePerson. Here's another one speaking about the educational possibilities, scanning a QR code with Chipotle again, and there's the burrito spinning around. This slide speaks a little bit about how ad networks work. I'm not going to bore you with that. This is the NexTech piece with the ad network. Again, not going to bore you with that. Upcoming catalyst, Q1 2020, new ARitize website launch. We expect that to be live. New Capture app launch coming soon. The industry's first 3D AR platform. We're in testing right now. It's live. We'll have results to share shortly. And of course, we expect to close new agreements with top Fortune 500 accounts. In 2020 Q2, revenue begins to scale. New AR studio business accelerates. Our portfolio of patents, of course, is going to expand as our tech expands. Major new AR capabilities, major client wins, and on and on. We're the only pure play. That's why you want to own NexTech. When it comes to the stock market, AR is becoming pretty buzzworthy, and more investors are going to be looking for a pure play investment. We're the first to market with the 3D AR ad network, which is a huge deal. It's almost $1 trillion market, and we have a first mover advantage. I don't know of any other small cap that you could say that of, especially in the tech space. Revenue is growing. 2019, pivotal year, 6 million. 2020, we think we're gonna hit 15 or 20 million. Well capitalized. We're not expecting to do another financing in 2020. Tight capital structure, friendly long-term investors, essentially all my friends, working, with leading bankers when we need them. Expert management. 33% of the shares are owned by insiders, and of course, an expert team of entrepreneurs. If you look at, management, myself, I'm an expert in creating, funding, running hypergrowth startups, both public and private. I took Take-Two Interactive Software public, and that was at a $30 million market cap. Today it has over a $12 billion market cap. My last exit was 20x, which happened in 18 months. Paul Duffy, he's the creator of the humogram. He's an inventor, He's got patents, holographic telepresence. So he's been in this space for a long time. He's a serial entrepreneur. Ori Imbar, Mike Boland, Scott Starr, Barry, these are all experts in their respective fields. This is a stock chart. It's a little bit old because this was yesterday. Today the stock is up a bit, but you get the picture, right? We sat until October in the 50-60 cent range. These are Canadian dollars, and then we had liftoff. And so we've been discovered, and we think the pool of investors is just going to get bigger and bigger as we continue to perform. About 60 million shares outstanding, market cap's just over 100 million. Again, these are Canadian numbers, and so you could discount that by roughly 25-30% for US. And that's pretty much it, Jack. I'm done.
Okay, Evan, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, perfect. So let's let's open up for questions. I want to start with let's start with the questions that came in from the people who registered, and then we'll go to the live questions. And by the way, let's try something new. So anybody in the audience, if you want to ask a question live, just click on that little hand wave thing, and we'll basically I'll click on you, and hopefully you'll be able to ask live. Hopefully this thing works. So it's a new technology here. Okay, so it looks like, Evan, it looks like I got about 15 questions yesterday, or before this morning, mostly the same, which is roughly like uplisting. Question about, are you planning to go to TSX? Are you going to NASDAQ? We got about 15 questions just on the uplisting. So
yeah, so we're in discussions with both exchanges. We do want to uplist. Yes, we do, and we will. It's just a question of qualifying and when. So we're in constant contact. We're positioning ourselves so that we can uplist. You got to have audited financials. You got to meet certain requirements as far as revenue, as far as gross profit, as far as stock price. So there's lots of requirements to get into these higher exchanges. As soon as we meet them, I assure all of our investors, I'm as eager as you guys are to get uplisted. So it will happen as soon as possible.
Okay, so next question I have here from Robert, and he's asking, are you designing your own glasses? What about the banking sectors? Are there any interest in that they all run commercials?
So we are not designing our own glasses because that would make us a hardware company, and we are a software company. So we create the content that lives on the glasses, but we don't make the glasses. In fact, think of it like this. All those companies that are making the glasses, Snap, Microsoft, Google, Apple, they're competing against each other. Our software will work across all the platforms, all the glasses. So you're better, with what NexTech's value prop is versus, competing on the glasses. Our software will work across all the glass platforms. As far as the banking sector, we are looking at all sectors. Yesterday we signed a deal with a company in the mining sector. If you had asked me a year ago about mining, I would have said, what could we possibly do in the mining sector? It's dirt, right? Well, turns out there's business in the mining sector. So if there's business in the banking sector, we will be pursuing that.
Hey, Evan, just a question. Can you talk a little bit about, just in case anybody is not familiar with, can you talk a little bit about what exactly you're doing, what the application is for mining?
Yeah, so if you think about, the mining sector, it's a huge industry and globally, and it's very difficult for anybody to really see what's going on, if let's say the mines are, in China or in India or Indonesia, they're not in the United States, right? They're spread out throughout the world. And so imagine not having to get on an airplane and travel 20 hours to some, godforsaken place to see a core sample. Imagine being able to scan it in 3D, again, using our capture proprietary technology. And then imagine being able to view that core sample anywhere in the world on your smartphone or your computer. And so that's really what we're doing, is we're creating 3D AR experiences of core samples. It's a pretty big deal, and we think it could become the industry standard.
It's interesting. It's actually we deal with a lot of mining companies, and I'm sure a lot of people in this audience right now, you've been to the conferences where you have the CEOs of these mining companies. They bring their core samples they put them on the table. This thing must weigh like 500 pounds, right. With the wood box, and because it's rock. Basically, you're lugging thousands of pounds of rocks, and if they can show these core samples in 3D.
Yep, that's what we're doing. And so, literally you'll have a core sample in your pocket.
Oh, that's tremendous. Okay, so we got a bunch of questions now. So let's go to the next one here. So I got let's see, another question, I believe. Is this Robert or Roger? Okay, as NexTech's business ramps up this year, is current staffing level adequate, or do you anticipate the need for additional staff?
We will be hiring as the business grows. We are, constantly looking for new talent. For us, it's about having a dream team. It's about having really, the best of the best. We're looking for the smartest guys in the room to join NexTech. So we're always looking for new talent, and we will be hiring, of course, as the business grows. Otherwise, you can't grow, right?
Okay. Next question is from Carlos. Carlos is asking, can you give us a timeline to go with your product development pipeline?
Well, I mean, as far as our Capture AR, that's here now. As far as our 3D ad network, that's here now. As far as our product pipeline, we're going to continue to iterate and enhance our user experience. We're going to continue to add more bells and whistles throughout the course of the year and next year. It's really just this ongoing, rolling technological development that we're in the midst of. So it's really never going to end. It's just going to be better and better experiences as we get deeper and deeper into 2020 and 2021.
Okay, all right. So let's see. Okay, now we got one question. Okay, so, okay, and then we're gonna go to the live. I see we got a couple of hands raised. We got so we're gonna start with those in a second. So Joseph, I'm gonna go to Joseph here. You get the hand raised. So Joseph, I'm gonna ask your question. I'm gonna open up to you. So I guess make sure your mic is on. Let's try this. Evan, you ready?
Yeah.
Hopefully Joseph is here.
You want me to put my webcam on?
No, hang on. Don't do anything. Okay. Joseph, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Hey, how you doing, guys? Evan, I have a question about Future Farm. Are you guys still involved with them in any way?
Not at all, Joseph. We were involved with them in going public, which started in Q1 of 2018. We were spun off. We have absolutely no contact with them financially or otherwise. They don't own any shares. There were shareholders of Future Farm that got some spin-out shares, but we have zero financial relationship or obligation or contact with Future Farm. We are completely separate companies, completely.
Okay, great. Thank you for your answer. I appreciate it.
Okay, Joseph, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's that's good. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Next hand that's raised. Hang on a second. Here we go. Okay, Joseph. Okay, we got Joseph. Pete. Okay, we're gonna go to Pete. So Pete, make sure your mic is on. And here we go. Pete, you're on the air.
Yes, I want to know if you're getting any feed through from Facebook.
So the Facebook messaging, I guess, is what you're speaking to. Facebook messaging is another feature that NexTech offers to its clients, meaning if you're a retail e-commerce business and you use Messenger and you've hired NexTech to create 3D AR experiences, our 3D AR experiences that we create for you, you could drop into Facebook Messenger and it will work. So that's the integration announcement that, it just adds value when we're on the phone closing deals. So it's really up to our customers to utilize that. We don't utilize Facebook Messenger ourselves. It's really about our customers utilizing it and being able to take our augmented reality 3D asset, drop it into Facebook messaging, and interact with their customers. Hope that explains it.
Yes, thanks very much.
Okay, thank you, Pete. Okay, let's see who else we have here. Any other question? Okay, so again, anybody who wants to ask a question live, just click that hand, wave the hand, little button that waves the hand, and I'll click on you. Okay, so looks like that's what we have for now. Let me see, we got a couple of more questions. Okay, so let's see. Jesse was asking how to limit shorts. I guess referring to short sellers.
Yeah, so first of all, I don't think we have a lot of short sellers, if any, in the stock. I think there's a misconception that investors have. Short sellers primarily target one, companies with no revenue, and two, bigger market cap companies. So, when it comes to NexTech, we don't have that problem. If you think about short selling, and again, we're kind of talking about market making. If you're a market maker in our stock, you might short 1,000 shares and then go long 1,000 shares, but there's no short selling in NexTech stock. We don't have that problem.
Okay. I think, Evan, do you believe in the free market though, right?
100%. If somebody wants to short, have at it. But
you're right, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
But if you
free country,
I look at that as somebody who's going to end up getting burned because they're going to be on the wrong side of the trade. But if they want to short, they could short.
Okay. So Carlos asking a question. Can you compare your business model and potential growth trajectory to a company such as Shopify?
No. So Shopify is a platform for e-commerce sites. We would supply those e-commerce sites with software so that they can generate more sales. That's what we do. We're not a platform for e-commerce sites. We're not you don't create an e-commerce site on the NexTech platform. That's what Shopify does. So, if you want to open up an e-com site and you want to pay, $99 a month and you don't want to hire a web developer, you go to Shopify. If you have a Shopify site and you want to sell more product, you go to NexTech. That's the differentiation.
Okay. Get a question from Robert. I guess the share structure. How many shares are outstanding? How many authorized?
There's 60 million shares outstanding. That's it.
Okay, so we got Pete. Okay, so Pete, we answered that question. Pete asking one more question. Can you give us an update on the guns?
The only update is that things are going incredibly well. We continue to speak to all the major gun manufacturers, and we think that there's some imminent deals that are going to be had because the value is there. So we feel that that's a great space for us, and there's just going to be more and more and more deals.
So I guess you're talking about like Walther, the
Yep.
The deal
Yep.
with Walther. Okay.
Yeah, Walther, but beyond Walther, there's Smith & Wesson, there's Sig Sauer, there's a whole bunch of, big companies that we're engaged with.
Okay, let me see. Okay, we got a question came in from Pearly. Pearly's asking, outlook for going above $5 and higher. Evan, do you have a crystal ball?
Yeah, thanks for that. So yeah, every company, every CEO wants to believe their stock's going above $5. My goal, putting aside price, is to build $1 billion public company. That's my goal. We think that we have the right stuff to get there. We think that the industry is right. The stock market's certainly in a bull market. We do think that augmented reality is where you're going to see explosive growth, and so that's what I'm going for. So putting aside price, that's the goal.
Okay, let me see. Is there anything else? Okay, I think that's it from the questions. Let's go to see if there's any people waving live. I believe that is it. Okay, and again, Evan, we'll have you back next month. Hopefully, you're gonna have even more good news. So
Sure.
Again, everybody, thank you for joining us. Evan, thank you. Again, Cytodyne is going to be presenting next week, so same time, 12:30, Wednesday the 22nd, and we look forward to having everybody back then. And Evan, thank you again, and keep up the great work.
Thank you, Jack.